Moving right along. Final round. On to some wholesome content. It's time for some Christmas fun. That's right. Hawkeye premiered last week. Two big episodes. Third one came out today. Sam, have you watched them?
I'm not.
Spoiler alerts.
There's too much other stuff to watch right now.
Spoilers.
Why do people hate Jeremy Renner so much?
I don't hate
Is
Jeremy
it because
Renner.
of the app?
I don't hate Jeremy. I actually like Jeremy Renner. I don't like Hawkeye the character.
What about
I don't think
every
that-
single time?
I don't
Every
think
single
that's-
time I do this show, okay?
I don't think that's
Someone
Jeremy Renner's
says some
fault.
shit on this show that makes me not want to do this show anymore.
Hey, O'Shawn said he's got a post-punched punchable face. It's already been punched, and now you want to punch it still.
That's fucked up.
A reformed punchable.
Like, I
punchable
get
face.
it. Everybody was like, the app thing was a little weird. He's also like a pop music star and like has a weird song. There's the Jeremy Renner app. Do you not know about? You should look this up.
No, I don't think I know about
the
this.
Jeremy Renner app.
I heard that Haley Steinfeld didn't like working with him because he kept singing his song on set, but I think that was a joke. But at the same time,
So the first thing that I ever saw him in was not a good movie, but I loved him in it, and because of him, I actually watched this movie surprisingly regularly.
Was
It
it
like
like
a movie?
SWAT?
That's
nice.
true. Oh man, I saw that in
LL
theaters.
Cool J.
Yeah, that movie's fucking dope. Samuel L. Jackson as like the grizzled captain.
Yep.
Hell yeah,
He's
that movie's
black
dope.
and
Jeremy
he's
Renner's
angry.
great in it.
Yes.
I got nothing against Jeremy Renner. I just don't like the character Hawkeye.
I like the character Hawkeye because of the name. It's got part of my last name in it. See, I love my name.
Jesus Christ.
Come full circle yet again.
Starting with the goddamn name.
Come on, Dominic. Don't say you don't love Fast and Furious because they say your name like 15 times and they scream it.
I hate that fucking. I like those movies, but I hate the fact that his name is Dominic. Because people do that shit to me all the time.
Do you ban Corona and the word family in your house?
No, I like Corona. I drink Corona. I love Corona.
And he loves
can get the hell
family.
out of here.
Family can get the fuck out.
The
If
plots
anybody
of-
like our old fucking boss used to say, "I live my life a quarter mile at a time." Fucking used at Apple used to do that shit to me all the time. I'm like, shut the fuck up. My God, there are other people named Dominic.
So John is from Albania. That's what's up. That's what's up. Oh no,
Jeremy
that's the
Renner.
name of the show. Love and Peace from Albania. It's a really good show. 2 seasons, 12 episodes each. Anime comedies are rare, but Mitsudomo is one of the great anime comedies. You know what? What's good from Albania? Is it early there or is it late? But I digress. Synopsis for Hawkeye. 1 year after the events of Avengers Endgame, Clint Barton must partner with Kate Bishop to confront enemies from his past as Ronin in order to get back to his family in time for Christmas. This just sounds like the beginnings of any kind of good Christmas film. I think they have one called I'll Be Home for Christmas, right? And
Yep, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yes. Thank you. JTT. Have you already said? I've said it before, but I was fine with Hawkeye, but the Matt Fraction run is literally his favorite comic run. Full run.
Yes, the Matt Fraction Hawkeye book is exceptional. And
Full stop.
This show pulls heavily from that run. Matt Fraction is an executive producer. Lucky the Pizza Dog's in it. Kate Bishop is in it, obviously. The entire opening credits are based off of Matt Fraction's run. It is absolutely exceptional.
So Sam,
The comic book run. I love the show too.
Do you mind if we kind of spoilerifically walk through this? Or okay.
Spoil away. I'm not. I have no plans really to watch this series unless it's just kind of by accident.
He's trying to find the Jeremy Renner app. Is what he's fucking doing.
I'm reading an article about this right now. Actually, it's incredible. The very first question in this article, as written by the author on the New York Times. Why am I reading this? Their own response. Why am I writing this? Dude, this is magical. I love this. I'm 100% in. If anything is going to get me into Hawkeye, it's going to be the dead Jeremy Renner app.
So, Hey Sean is, he said he still needs to watch Hawkeye. He said he gets a lot of CW vibes from the logo, which that's fair. And now he's muting. Sorry, man. Spoiler alert. Flags are up. They're up there for your benefit, as well as everybody else's. And now if you're listening tomorrow, the next day, spoiler time. Here we go.
Yep.
So the first picture I've got up here is a great shot. It's got Kate Bishop during the aftermath, or actually during the battle of 2012 in New York from the movie The Avengers. This is my first gripe of two in this very scene. One, the child actress, no offense, you're terrible. I don't know what kind of nepotism is happening at Marvel, but this young lady did not do a great job. Sorry. I've seen kids.
That's interesting because the other child actress in the show from episode 3 is really good.
Yeah, they're not all going to be winners.
I'm just saying she's playing the beginning scene, a pivotal role. The other gripe I have in this moment is this is the scene where she gets to witness Hawkeye being a badass with a bow, and falling from the roof and using his bow to make a line where he swings back into the building below. And in the movie, they show a shot of Stark Tower, not like seconds before or after, and there's particular letters that are on Stark Tower. They're not the same letters in this shot. It's like, dude, you had one job. There are 5 letters in Stark.
What's left, you mean?
Yeah, there are 5
I have a
letters
question
in Stark.
for you.
There's
4 letters in Stark. 5 letters in Stark.
Yeah,
There's 5 letters in Stark. STA.
2 of them are gone.
I have a question for you about this.
Just magic.
I legit have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you, Ernie Hawkins, notice this, or did you see a video of somebody on TikTok talking about it, and then it bothered you?
I noticed that Stack was up, and I was like, Stack was never up there. And then somebody pointed it out on TikTok the next day, and I was like, I fucking knew it. Because I don't remember ever seeing Stack. I only remember seeing, like, the A being there, or, like, maybe the ST and the A, but, like, that's it. I couldn't have told you if it was the S that was missing or the K, but Stack, I was like, nope, that's like a word.
Maybe if the scene stretched out for, like, another 10 seconds, you'd see the
K
just,
falls
like,
off.
Comedically just fall down.
For TikTok. But to be fair, yes, I did see it reinforced the next day on TikTok, which is fine. But it did irk me in the moment. Well, it irked. So not only did that, it's the same thing when we watched the movie The Nun, seeing that the letters in the background spell out the name of the demon in The Nun. And I was like, yeah, I noticed that too. But nobody's going to believe you after the fact. I'm like, yeah, it was on YouTube the next day during everybody's review.
Yeah, unless you were like verified as the first person to say it online,
yeah.
No one's going to believe that you figured it out on your own.
But like, there's a giant bookcase with no letters except for giant flipping letters. Like, there's only 4 or 5 letters, and later on you're like, that's got to be important. It's one of those like. It's just it. Now, granted, if you're watching like which by the way I love this, is when people do this on like Fox News. I've never watched that channel, but CNN or whatever, and their books behind them in the bookcase spell out something like the first letters of all their books spell like "fuck Trump" or whatever. Those are always hilarious. I'm like, you put thought into that, and I appreciate you. Or "fuck DJ," it's like a subtle flip to him. The next scene. I love the immediate introduction of a trick arrow with this tennis ball on the end of this arrow here. I'm not going to say what happens in the scene, but spoiler alert, Kate Bishop is an archer, and she's going to shoot bows and arrows in this show. And this particular one has a tennis ball on the end of it. The next clip we've got here, or little picture, is of a Steve Rogers musical that's not necessarily a central piece of the show, but it's a reoccurring theme throughout the entire show so far. Like, it's on billboards. It's all over New York. If you've ever been to New York, they have like several big Broadway shows, and they're just splattered everywhere. You're always being reminded of what's on Broadway. And my favorite little quip is like, who wasn't there? That guy, Ant-Man. And of course, and this one I did not think about. I was definitely like, oh yeah, that's right. Is somebody was like, actually, technically, Ant-Man was there, because in Avengers Endgame, they go back in time to get the stones, and there's a moment where Ant-Man is standing there in New York in 2012 with Tony, Cap, and the Hulk, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go. He goes with Iron Man to try to get the freaking Tesseract. So it's technically true. And somebody made a joke on TikTok who was like, imagine there's like a firefighter who like saw Ant-Man. And he's like, dude, I'm telling you, Ant-Man was there. He was there helping the whole time because they just saw them shooting the shit in an alleyway somewhere. I'm like, that's funny. And that's how they got in there. And I'm only really kind of flipping through these just to kind of avoid too terrible of a spoiler, if that makes sense. And then we can kind of get back to a general summary. We got a family dinner here. This is very cute. This is kind of where we start getting a little bit of like the insight in the family aspect of the show. It's Christmas vibes, Christmas time. I gotta be home for Christmas. This is what, Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner's fighting for. Here's a shot of Kate Bishop's mom and her new boyfriend, who, here's a spoiler, turns out to be the swordsman, who I guess is the mentor of Hawkeye. Little did I know. Didn't even know he had a mentor. So now it's like, okay, when are they going to meet in the show? And of course, here we go, Pizza Dog, a.k.a. Lucky.
Lucky the Pizza Dog.
That's a beautiful dog. It's a golden retriever, one eye, beautiful dog. Stop winking at me, buddy.
Which is not crazy, but the regular golden retriever does not have one eye.
Yes, that is a CGI one eye. There is an epic moment of LARPing that takes place, and it's probably my favorite scene, and it genuinely brought a smile to my face, even though it's LARPing and in slow motion. You can't not love every really second of it. It was just, I would watch this whole show just for this moment again. And if let me go back, I do also appreciate this young lady in the background wearing a mask. That's right, COVID's real. Thanks for wearing a mask. Be safe. And then here, I can't. This shot of this dog. This is straight from Disney. Every one of these photos is ripped from Disney's press kit, so they're picking good ones. Tell me that dog's not CGI. That's a beautiful dog.
Oh, absolutely.
That is not a real dog.
Absolutely CGI.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, the half of his face is absolutely CGI.
I mean, that part, but the rest of them, gorgeous. He's got better hair than most people I know, including my baby. And she just got it.
There's some golden retrievers that look like that normally.
They're just out there strutting it, winking at you.
Yeah.
Permanently winking at you.
Look up Tucker, the golden retriever, on Instagram. He looks just like that.
I mean, Airbud was a stud as well. I get it.
Airbud was absolutely a stud.
I mean, just look at all the Air Buddies he ended up having in like the third one.
That's right.
Again, epic chase scene.
Best scene in the show.
Dude, this is by far the best scene because
best scene in the show.
Flipping his. Okay, so but by the way, Sam, I don't know if you're aware. In the comics, Hawkeye's deaf, right? He's hard of hearing or full on deaf. In the show, they kind of allude to that. He's got a hearing aid, and Kate Bishop asks, I didn't know you were deaf or hard of hearing. And she's like, how'd it happen? And then they do like a flash of all the massive explosions that he's been in over the past several years. Yeah. And it's like, no kidding. He can't hear. He's like constantly being around concussed sound, like with no protection. Like he's definitely going to lose his hearing. And even in the comic, my favorite little like side note that, if you know, is that Deadpool will always pull his mask up when he's in the room with Hawkeye because he knows he's deaf, so that he can read his lips while he's talking. And it's just a little bit of like nod to the character, like that Deadpool again, who breaks the fourth wall and is aware, and nobody ever really thinks about it. So there's all these other superheroes with masks on and shit. Like if Tony Stark is ever in the Iron Man suit talking, Barton has no clue what's going on. Like they're just getting orders and just moving along. But my favorite part here, and this is going to be, I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give it away too bad. Boop. My favorite bit here, and this is the last picture I think on the slide, is what happens with some of these arrows. And Dime, and you know what I'm talking about, on the bridge.
Yeah, all the trick arrows are fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then they didn't spoil any of it in the trailer, which was awesome.
Yes. Her saying like, oh my God, what are these trick arrows? And in the trailer, they kind of he's like, no, what? It's because he can't hear her. So in this scene, she's yelling at him, and he's just yelling back at her, and he has no idea she's saying anything. and she constantly is saying stuff. He's constantly saying stuff like just seconds later, and she's like, "Hey, we're finally communicating." It's like because he can't hear a thing she says. He's constantly being annoyed by her in the show, and it's wonderful. Even later on, when she's like, "I need to get back to my apartment. That dog's been there all day, all cooped up. He's probably, it probably sucks." And like 2 minutes later, he's like, "Man, that dog's still at your apartment. We should probably get back there. He's been cooped up all day." I'm like, yes, I could listen to that back and forth all day long. But I digress. Having said that, I'm enjoying the show thus far. Episode 3, we're getting some reveals of some bigger characters. Swordsman being a big character involved with Kate Bishop's mom, and this kind of underground society. There's the tracksuit mafia that is being introduced. The leader of that group being Echo, who's got her own series coming out. Another deaf character, her ability is being able to echo or repeat any moves she sees, kind of like Taskmaster in Black Widow. And then her relationship to being the adopted daughter of Kingpin, which is kind of a big deal. And we know that we're hoping that Charlie Cox is going to be in No Way Home. So supposedly he's going to be in there. So we're kind of seeing this soft release of a season 4, a soft reboot of Daredevil, and I'm all about it. All right, I think I've said all my words.
I mean,
Still not
Echo is
100%
dope.
sure what's coming.
Echo is really cool. It's like the second character from Marvel that's deaf that is actually played by a deaf actress in this year. Lauren Ridloff plays Makari in Eternals, and she's deaf. The actress who plays Maya Lopez, Echo, is also deaf. And I mean, they're alluding to Kingpin, obviously. They calling Uncle. There's a shot that you see of Uncle like stroking the chin of young child Echo, and he's in a black suit, and you can see his cufflinks, and it looks just like D'Onofrio's Kingpin.
The craziest thing was when he walked up, just the difference in foot cadence. It went from being soft steps everywhere to doof doof doof, kind of like a fucking dinosaur just walked in the room. Good shit.
I really like this show. I know Mike loves this show because again, Mike loves Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, and we both love that comic. But I'm ready for one of the things that I've really liked about what Marvel's done over the last year since Endgame is that you kind of really have two stories being told, two storylines that are being kind of implemented. You have the on Earth kind of not realistic, but on Earth, very level-headed. This is what's going on post Endgame with some of the ancillary Avengers, and all of that is leading to Young Avengers, because you have Kate Bishop, who's a Young Avenger. You have Isaac Bradley in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Yelena Belova in Black Widow. So all of that seems to be kind of building towards Young Avengers and the Thunderbolts. And then you have Cosmic Marvel that's happening right now with Eternals, with Shang-Chi, with Loki, with Spider-Man No Way Home, with WandaVision, where you're getting this multiverse and these kind of high-level events. And the first image of Kang the Conqueror from Ant-Man Quantumanium leaked today, where you kind of see the reflection of Kang inside of Ant-Man's mask, and he looks straight up from the comic book, which looks awesome. I'm ready to kick it into high gear. I'm really interested as to how this show is going to end out. Yelena is supposed to show up in the show from Black Widow, because at the end of Black Widow, Valentina Hydra showed Hawkeye's picture to Yelena and was like, "Hey, this dude killed your sister."
Julie Louis-Dreyfus she's basically being to the same character from Veep. She is the vice president is rolling up.
What a good fucking show. I love Veep. I love Julie Louis-Dreyfus just swearing like a sailor.
Yes. Yes.
So good. There's a second Seinfeld reference today.
Besides was it Haley Steinfeld?
George Costanza.
Yeah. But no,
Haley
I
Haley Steinfeld's
definitely
great.
I'm looking forward to the cosmic side of things. It was a Secret Invasion, Secret Invasion, and then Iron Wars. I mean, I think it's going to be a rapid fire next couple of years, but I think these smaller ancillaries are really what is going to be what. Thank you, Mike. Whatever. Contessa Valentina de Fontaine is her full name. But I'm excited about what these smaller ancillary characters are going to be able to do, because that's going to really keep Disney Plus in business. Like these Marvel series with these smaller actors. No offense to any of the actors in general, but like
Jeremy Renner has an app. God damn it! Put some respect on his name.
Yeah. He was in one of the Bourne movies, for Christ's sake. So like the mantle being passed to these younger actors, I think is definitely going to be important for A, keeping that younger audience, and then B, continuing that money mill, just churning out more money. I mean, you can't tell me there's not going to be a shit ton of Patriot costumes coming out. U.S. Agent's going to be everywhere. I just hope that a bunch of the crazy zealots of the world don't commandeer U.S. Agent to be their like flagship fucking person, just like the Punisher. Ugh, like don't take these characters and make them your fucking mascot for hate. But fingers crossed. But I digress. Any honorable mentions?
You said that a lot.
Halloween. I forgot to mention, just in the idea of just like the endless amount of content that Marvel's got right now. I did see one of the best Marvel costumes at Palmer's Halloween, like their block party in their neighborhood, was the variants in Loki. Husband and wife and their little dog, they dressed up as one as well.
Nice.
And it
awesome.
like spot on, and she looked exactly like what's her face from the show. It was uncanny. It was one of the best Marvel costumes I've ever seen in person.
Damn, that is dope.
Loki was so good. We're watching it again now. I'm really excited for Multiverse of Madness.
Dude, I think Loki was definitely what kind of set me on the new path of like, okay, these Disney Plus shows. WandaVision was fun, and we got some new characters out of it. But there was definitely the element of like, it felt a little like a Disney original movie to me. Like especially that last episode, we're in the middle of a town square that clearly is like a backlot. Like that was like, oh, and now this time on Disney, we're gonna save the day from the Witch of the West. But like, Loki definitely set it apart with that bigger, grander scale. But I one honorable mention that didn't go on 2 weeks ago episode, and I didn't even follow up with it. Tom, how was Ghostbusters? You said you were going to go see it in theaters. How was it?
I didn't get to go see it.
Did you see that deep breath? Your whole body.
I was so mad.
Dude, I can feel your disappointment.
I was really fucking pissed about it. Ashley and I bought tickets. We had really great seats. A bunch of shit blew up at work that morning, and I was working until like 7:00 at night, and our movie was at 4. I was super bummed. I really want to see it, so I'm hoping we don't have much going on this weekend. I'm hoping maybe tomorrow night, if there's a showing coming, that we'll do that. And we booked, and we did like the same time for Spider-Man, and Ashley was like, yeah, like that shit can't happen for Spider-Man. Like you have to be off to go watch that. And yeah, I was really, really bummed that we couldn't see it. So I really want to, because I've heard it's awesome. I heard there's like just enough fan service in the movie, but like it's like building. It's like starting to build that back up again. So like, and Paul Rudd, like I think Paul Rudd is the anti Ryan Reynolds, where like Paul Rudd is beautiful and funny, but he could also act. Like
that's true.
Like Ryan Reynolds is beautiful and funny, and he can't really act. But like Paul Rudd has like range, like a lot of range.
In the very bizarre off chance that Ryan Reynolds ever stumbles across this episode, I want it known.
We like your
I
Jen.
want it known that I don't think none of us dislike you. We all think you're a wonderful human being.
If you've made it this far, let us try to mend any fences we might have just shit on.
If you haven't just immediately called your attorneys to have us all summarily sued into the fucking ground.
I'm pretty sure end of the day we don't
Reynolds.
hit the radar for him at all as far as like
he's not like Chris Pratt. Like I genuinely don't like Chris Pratt. Like I
gotta say I'm right there with you, man.
I liked Chris Pratt a lot more before the whole split up with Anna Faris. He went like super nutso kind of thing.
Yeah.
And into a weirdo.
I'm ready for him to be like done with Guardians of the Galaxy because I like the Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I'm ready for him and Bautista to leave. To be honest, like him, Bautista, maybe like Bradley Cooper, Rocket Raccoon. Like hopefully like Adam Warlock comes in and Will Poulter is like I'm the new guy. I don't like Chris Pratt. I'm sorry. I like Chris Pratt in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I like his work.
I thought he was great.
I like his work. The minute he got a platform and used it to talk, I was like, no, don't. I don't do well when you talked about what you were
down my throat either.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what
I don't do well with that. I mean, practice what you want. Like, we have a guy who's Jewish on the show right now.
Yeah, I love you for it. Not just because of it.
Elmo's little dreidel.
It's part of you.
You practice what you want, but you don't need to shove it down everybody's throat.
As he holds up Elmo's
book. Anna Faris is
be like me and have zero opinions about anything. No opinions.
Nothing
I've said on this episode.
Could not.
Nothing
I've said how much you don't like Ryan
Reynolds was an actual opinion.
But also, you do like Ryan Reynolds.
Except for Cowboy Bebop, you were very, very vocal about how much you love that show.
Not an opinion, that's a fact. Everybody should
writing in defense on that one.
Everybody loves that show except for people that forgot the anime exists. Once you remember that,
edgelords.
Once you remember that the anime exists and that you're not also 17, you realize that the show's actually really good. It's not an opinion.
It's facts.
It's facts. My favorite thing is my favorite little quote is like when people go, "Oh man, you hold a grudge." I'm like, man, I'm not holding a grudge. I'm just remembering facts. It's my favorite comeback ever. It's like, oh, you gotta let that go, man. You gotta hold on a grudge. I can't let go of facts. These are just things that took place. But
Mike Mahaffey's gonna start saying that to me all the time because I say that to him all the time. Like, dude, you gotta let shit go. And he's like, nah,
I can't let go of the truth.
Fuck it, let it burn.
May the bridges I burn light my way.
Oh man,
but no. I think that's a pretty good place to stop. We hit up a little bit of bonus round there with the Ghostbusters. I'm having a good time. I hope you guys had a good time too. Thanks everybody as always for watching episode 24. You can find us on social. Sam, thank you for joining us. Happy Hanukkah, man. I know you got a couple more days of those candles. Do you celebrate getting gifts each day, or do you Christmas cut, where you get like gifts every day plus you get Christmas Day? Like where do you fall?
No, it's shit. Even as a kid, I think the gifts every day thing ended when I was like 11, and then we were just like, "Hey, it's sometime near Christmas."
There you go.
It's like my mom was always really good about doing like the first 2 days, and then like the last day or whatever day was closest to Christmas.
Nice. There you go.
She'd be like, "All right, here's everything."
That's awesome.
But like the first 2 days was like, here's like $5 and like a little bag of chocolate coins or some shit.
There you go. I mean, it makes it a little special.
Yeah.
It's a little something.
Yeah.
But no, that's awesome. I again, thank you for joining the show. You're not even a special guest. You're just a wonderful guest. You're not just a fan of the show. You're a part of the show, in my opinion. You're part of the lexicon. So thanks as always for being here. Thank you for the faithful in the chat. Hey, O'Shawn, Mike, whatever. The guy from Albania on YouTube chat, which was kind of cool.
The champion.
International, dropping porn questions as well as dropping some animated comedies from Albania. I guess we're going to have to watch now. Thanks for that. But as always, see you next time. Peace.